Jerry Lane Enterprises present Paradise, Louisiana, with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana is also brought to you by Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Venice Car Wash and Oil Change, Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, First South Farm Credit, Pro Drive Outboards, H&E Equipment Services, an equipment company run by equipment people, and by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Welcome to a busy week at Paradise, Louisiana. I'm Gary Risponi.
I'm Rad Trasher from CCA.
And I'm Don Dubuque, and I got to tell you what, this weekend lived up to its name, Labor Day. I did a bunch of labor and a lot of things going on between hunting season kicking off with the dove season, the wrap up of the Star. I got to fish the very last day on Labor Day, and a lot of other stuff in between.
Between your hunting and fishing habits, nobody's going to feel sorry for you, Don.
You're right.
Yeah, well, you wrapped up the Star, and I'm sure right now you got a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff been coming in, and I guess we're going to talk about it a little bit, though, huh?
Absolutely. The 2015 Star is in the books. Now we just have to sort through all the winners and give away a lot of prizes next month.
Yeah. Well, I made a trip. I got 2 traditional dove hunts. Probably won't show all of y'all because we really have some doves down this year. It was pretty good. We went up to the 4B Ranch. I call it Del High because that's where Francis Thompson's from. He's the one been producing this for 41 years, been putting this on. One of our sponsors, Jerry Lane Enterprises, has been one of the sponsors for years. So we got some interview with some of the legislators up there, and I think we're going to bring y'all there this week. And then we made another traditional hunt. Don, you've been on many times, to the Kentwood area. Most doves they had in about 10 years. So maybe next week we'll show you a little bit of that one. So, but right now, Don, that's what we got, and we made a little visit up to Magnolia Retreat. When I say Magnolia Retreat, it's just north of Woodville. De La Rosa, everybody knows. My brother Eddie had been looking at land over there. He finally bought some land. He built a retreat up there, and he brings and entertains a lot of people. John Folse is one of his closest friends, and he hosts a lot of things. He had Grand Isle with John Folse, and John Folse brought all them chefs from around the world, from Chicago and New York, New Orleans, California. So he had them there. They're cooking traditional Louisiana stuff, and we didn't have nothing from New York. I thought we were going to have a Philly steak or none of that, but we didn't have none of that. So we had good seafood, Louisiana seafood, and hog hunt. We did a hog hunt. We'll show you a little bit of that. Those hogs, they ain't as easy as you think to kill or to catch. And so we got one on camera. We're going to show y'all how they caught it, how they do it, and show you how them dogs work.
It's coincidental how many of those chefs actually, as a hobby, fish and hunt. They really get into it. A lot of them, a higher percentage than you normally would think. We also have a new product we're going to tell you about called the AccuBow, and look forward to the opening of yet another hunting season. Teal season opens up this week all across Louisiana. We'll be right back. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
You can count on Jerry Lane.
I'm on my 3rd Tahoe.
And I'm on my 4th Chevy Silverado pickup.
It's always been Jerry.
Hey, you know I've had 4 Camaros and 5 Corvettes. Got them all from Jerry Lane.
We're proud to be a Jerry Lane family.
Always lead to. You can count on Jerry Lane.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
The excitement builds for the 2015 CCA STAR Tournament. This year's STAR is loaded with new ways to win your share of over $1.5 million in prizes, including tag trout division and more paid places for heaviest trout.
Believe it or not, I actually won.
Over 108 days of fishing with over 25 inshore and offshore divisions. We have something for everyone. Be the first to catch a tagged redfish and win a new Chevy Silverado. Enter now for just $30 by registering at ccastar.com. Share in the passion and serve our coast.
It takes true grit to wake up every morning dedicated to a higher standard of work. At H&E Equipment Services, we're leveraging our national fleet of equipment with a local approach, working closely with customers to understand their needs and provide them reliability, fair prices, and the support of a first-class service team. We're an equipment company, run by equipment people. Where others stop, we continue. H&E Equipment Services, the higher standard in equipment rentals, sales, parts, and service.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. This week we're back at the CCA Louisiana State Office, and that's in honor of the closing, finally on Labor Day, of the STAR Tournament. Rad Trasher's going to talk a little bit more about that. And Rad, you went out to Wine Island and got a fishing trip out that area. I was in Cocodrie last week, getting some speckled trout fishing in with some croakers. We had a little bit of inclement weather. We had to kind of dodge some of the raindrops, but moved around and ended up making a nice catch on the speckled trout and also bull reds, which are plentiful everywhere right now. I can't think of any place I've gotten any report that did not include bull reds in it, and Cocodrie is no exception. Fished with 3 captains, Jim Kessler, the operator of Cocodrie Charters, and Captain Johnny Boy Patterson, you've seen him on before, and also Captain Henry Smith. I talked about using those croakers. We had some gorgeous shrimp. Down there in Cocodrie, there's a bait boat that you can find on the water, and you don't get them any fresher than that. And there was some gorgeous shrimp, the kind that you hate to put on a hook. You want to put them on your plate. But that was not the real ticket. Yeah, they bit shrimp, but the real ticket was the croakers. You put a live croaker on there, and it was almost an immediate hit. We did have some problem with some sharks and some of the other undesirables, the big gaff tops, which you're going to run into out there. And once those sharks move in, you may as well pick up and go find another spot. But all in all, good trip, good fishing conditions in Cocodrie, and I got to tell you, it's pretty healthy fishing down there right now. It looks like the fall's going to be better because those fish are still haven't made their move in, but they're staging up and they're getting ready to make that transition into the marshes. Going to take you there now on a couple of fishing tips from Captain Johnny Boy. If you're going to be fishing in Cocodrie, get you some of those croakers and get you some of these trout. One of the important things about fishing out here in Cocodrie is you got to have live, fresh bait. And down here, you don't get it any fresher than this. When you go to the speckled trout wars, you want to bring both weapons, the live shrimp and the live croaker, but you fish them differently. Another one coming here, Mike. All right, double trouble on the speckled trout. The bull red, bull red. It is. Labor Day weekend, they got the Grand Isle redfish going on, but if it's speckled trout you want, I know where you can find a few. Cocodrie.
Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cassius Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana, and Rad. It's finally done. It's over, but the ripples haven't quite settled out yet.
We haven't gotten everything settled. You know, folks, as you know, we filmed this show early in the week, and so we're just coming off the Labor Day holiday. We will not close the final leaderboard until we have physically talked to every weigh station, confirmed that they have no other paperwork to give us. That's 35 across 2 states, so it takes us a little while. But by the end of the week, we should have a final leaderboard, and then we have to do a handful of polygraphs and some further investigation. But you should have a very, very good idea by the end of this week.
Overall participation this year as compared to years past?
Participation was fantastic. I don't have the final number yet, but at the end of July, it was the biggest tournament we've ever had in 21 years. So things are good. We're going to give away a ton of prizes. We obviously, you know, we're going to give the Chevy Silverado for the first tag redfish. 21 Nautic Star for another redfish. Then you've got all the regular prizes, so 4 Nautic Stars for trout, 4 kid boats from Cajun Outboards, the flounder boat, and then lots of cash and tackle prizes. It's going to be around $550,000, $600,000.
We're talking about prizes. I got an email about a camp truck right now that CCA is doing, and I told me it's very unique. I saw it.
It is.
Tell us a little bit about the camp truck.
The camp truck will be raffled. It's being raffled off. You can check it out on the website, but also it'll be given away at the Ascension Banquet next week, September 17th at Lamar Dixon. It is an old Chevy that Leday's Auto Sales and Kirk's put together and rigged it out. It's got a tower deer stand in the back and big mud tires and the whole 9 yards. It's a neat play toy. It is definitely a camp truck. It might be a little rough, but it'll be a fun prize for anybody to win.
Well, Red, I got to tell you, from people who are on one side of rodeos and tournaments, the participants, they only see their side. They go out there, they buy their ticket, they get their food, they have fun, they win prizes. From your side, and anyone who's ever been a rodeo or tournament director knows how much work goes into it. Think about one that starts on Memorial Day, ends on Labor Day, and involves just thousands of people and 24 weigh stations?
35.
35 you're up to now. And now we're in 2 states with Mississippi. You guys did a heck of a job to keep that thing organized and under control, because it's one of the best and maybe the best in the state.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it. It's all due to the people that fish it and our board that lends a helping hand everywhere we go. But there's 2 very important components that it wouldn't happen without. And that is, 1, the sponsors, people like the Chevrons and Whitney Banks and K2 Coolers, you name it, Chevrolet. Without those folks, we could never make this work with the prizes. And the unsung heroes that aren't talked about is the weigh stations. Those marinas from Big Lake at Cajun Fast Mart all the way over into Mississippi at Gorn Flows and Mary Walker and everybody in between. Those folks weigh the fish day in, day out. They put up with a lot of people that don't want to tell their exact location of where it's caught and so on. Without those folks, Star wouldn't happen.
That's right. And make sure, I wish to do this, because I'm going to ask y'all later to go see some of these sponsors. These sponsors are hard to get. You got to work sometime. But the more people you see sponsors on that list. If you stop and see one of them guys that are associated with that sponsor, you tell them thank you. yourself and say, man, I've seen it. And tell them you saw it on Paradise, Louisiana, too, because it helps us.
Well, Red, you're going to have the final results up on the website for people that can't wait and they want to get them down. In a couple of days, you'll have that out. But if they want to hear the stories, and there are so many stories of Star Rodeo participants and trips that they went on, you got to come to that banquet to hear the real stories.
It is. October 22nd, at Live Oak Arabians in Baton Rouge will be the banquet. We will give all those prizes, come in the door that day to set up, and go out that night.
And remember, all the tagged redfish, Gary Rasponi was close by.
This is true. This is true. You are not the black cloud when it comes to tag redfish, but come to the banquet. It's a lot of fun. It's a beautiful setting, and like you said, you will get to meet the winners. And you know, you have some characters out there that will be happy to share what happened. And you know, we've got some ties. We've got some family members battling against each other. You know, it'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun and good food, and hopefully we'll have some good
Who's
weather.
catering it?
Walk-Ons. Walk-Ons Catering,
forget.
one of our star
Always
sponsors.
good. Always a lot of food, too.
All right. Star 2015. Next year, Rad, maybe we're going to have to get Gary's itinerary of where he's going to be fishing each week, and we'll maybe make that an auction.
He's the
item.
new Jim.
People would love to know that. They're going to be following him around to find these tagged redfish.
He's the new Jim Cantori.
There he is, yeah.
Follow Gary and the redfish will show up. But look, we're going to hopefully come up with lots of twists and turns, like Gary said. Thank those sponsors. The more those sponsors know that what they're doing is a good thing, the more prizes we give away.
All right. We'll be back with more from the CCA headquarters here in Baton Rouge. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Visit Cracker Barrel convenience stores before heading fishing or hunting. We have more than you expect.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana from the glorious Mississippi.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner. First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit loan officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. The hunting season's kicked off with dove season last weekend. This weekend, statewide, it's the teal season. Make sure you get everything you need, your basic hunting license, your HIP, and both your state and your federal waterfowl stamps if you need them and you're going to go out there and be hunting. Dove season, Gary, had some kind of mixed reviews. I made a hunt up in Poplarville, Mississippi. They were suffering from a serious drought. And right when the hunt was ending, which we had a fairly good hunt, there was mostly onesies and twosies, didn't have the big flocks of dove that we've had in the past, but there was enough excitement and enough action to keep you interested in the hunt and made it a
I
really
heard you
nice
wish
hunt.
you had had your dog, too.
Yeah, but, you know, because of the conditions, it just
It's
wouldn't
too
have been
hot.
good. It's too hot, too dry, too dusty. The dog would have been miserable. Well, not really. Dogs are never miserable. They really
Yeah,
enjoy
right.
anything. But I would have been miserable watching the dog under those conditions. But anyway, that rainstorm that hit Baton Rouge and canceled the LSU football game, that hit us earlier over there just before the season hours were closing. So that kind of got them what they needed as far as rainfall. That would have been a big help. Where you are quite a different story. And one place had some real unique birds over there, the white-winged dove.
Well,
show.
yeah, that wasn't where I was, but that's Super Dave Roberts and Diamond Dave Rapola. They were hunting over not far from his camp. His camp is not on Lotto, but it's a little slough that's back there, and they got a camp there. And all around him, people growing sunflowers. So he sat on his camp, and he got a couple of acres there, and they sat right there. And when they had that water, they killed their lemon dove both mornings, you know, Saturday and Sunday. And then all of a sudden, he said, you know, he just started noticing. He said, these are all white wings. Everything they killed were white wings, which is very unusual. And I would like to talk to wildlife fishermen, want to know, they didn't kill not one mourning dove. And usually that's mostly what they kill. And then even, they had no Eurasians, they had nothing. All it was white wings.
Gary, you went up there to Monroe.
Well,
How
I
was
went
the
up
hunt
there
up
to Monroe and do it with Francis Thompson. I love going up there, love to see the camaraderie and the different people, but they usually got a lot of doves. That drought has hurt them a little bit. It was dry as a bone, except for a few little places they had some water. Good to talk to them and tell them. You know, it reminds me of when I was in Central, Donald Ray Kennard, bless his soul, would do exactly the same thing. He had a legislature luncheon. When all the legislature was in session, he invited the governor and presidents, universities, everybody, all the legislature would come eat out in Central. And all the people in Central would showcase Central. So there's nobody better than networking and doing things about the best public servant. I ain't gonna call him a politician because he was a public servant, but Donald Ray Kennard. If anybody comes close, it's Francis Thompson.
41 years, we're still trying to get it right, but it's such an important event statewide. We've had legislators from all over the state and even out of state. Many years I've had my counterparts in Arkansas and Mississippi that come. Matter of fact, this year I had Wyoming, the president of the Senate, that wants to come alligator hunt with us. And I said, if I'm unopposed next week, I'm going to have him over in another week or so. So this area is truly the sportsman's paradise for Louisiana. All of our state has something so unique, but this is a real sportsman paradise here in Northeast Louisiana.
Love to see folks from South Louisiana, especially coming up here so they can be at least shown that there is another part of this state. You know, for a long time, our only purpose in life was to hold the dirt together between Alexandria and Arkansas. But you know, lately we've gotten some breaks, and we're very happy to report that we're getting a few crumbs off the table.
I was on a TV show called Top Shot on the History Channel. I was on season 1, 2, and 5. But before I was on Top Shot, and I still compete in handgun shooting today, I'm the former world champion, U.S. national champion, regional champion, as long as I can remember, the Louisiana state champion. So it's like I've had my way to the top. I've done very well, and now I'm on my way down, I feel like it. So I'm out here shooting a little bit of doves, and they said doves and food and barbecue, and I couldn't turn that down. I had to come up and see my friends in North Louisiana.
You sound like me, and you're mighty young. How old are you?
I'm 33 years old. I'm one of the youngest legislators in the House of Representatives, newly elected in February.
And that's what I've always tried to do here, have a hunt that acknowledges these younger generation, those that are 10 years old up to 20, they'll be the next hunters and fishermen and outdoorsmen. We've got to keep that going. And politicians. But we've got to keep that going because it teaches character, it teaches responsibility, it teaches that there is a beautiful outdoors that can be enjoyed by all. And the Lord has really blessed us with great natural resources in Louisiana.
Tommy Parker, this is my son Cole. We're from West Monroe. That's a long shot.
And I'm from Tallulah.
Bobby Todd from Tallulah, that's my grandson.
Happy killed one, but it was not quite there.
Yeah. He finished it off.
Mike Breard from Monroe, Louisiana. We're having a good time, seen a lot of birds. Hadn't shot at many myself, but we had a good time.
Jim Sanford, I'm from Monroe, Louisiana. Yeah. Just enjoy the fellowship of it all.
I've been coming out here since 1991 when my dad and I came out for the first time, and we've made it almost every year since. Francis does a great job in the legislature. He's been there 41 years for the state of Louisiana, and we're just blessed to come over here and support him. Paradise, Louisiana, which I've been a sponsor of since they started, so I'm proud to be a supporter of Paradise, Louisiana. Good job, Gary.
Over the water, I can't believe y'all brought me out in the blind and we ain't got no food.
Don't worry, Gary. This will be over quick.
Man, I'm hungry.
Get out, Gary. Here they come. That dog loves to hunt.
I really like hunting, but you know what I really love?
I know, Gary. Food.
Now I can eat. Cane's, the official chicken of Louisiana Outdoors.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And this time of the year, as we start to get into some of the holiday seasons and football games and tailgating things, one of the places people gather is their hunting camps and their fishing camps.
Especially now with cable television and satellite, you know, you can watch a ball game, you can go out hunting, you can do it all and do it. And one thing my brother Eddie is well known for, he loves entertaining and he likes it in the outdoors. So whether it's a fishing camp or if it's hunting camp, or I don't know if you call it a hunting camp, but I like what he calls it, a retreat, Magnolia Retreat in Mississippi. And you've been around him a lot. He does a lot with CCA.
Mr. Rasponi does host a party for us every year for the Legislative Rodeo. He's a great host, a great friend of conservation, and a heck of an outdoorsman. So I think he's going to he shows some chefs around and kind of showed them a little bit of what we do.
As long as he'll bite me when he got all them chefs, because he was eating. So here we go again. This is the Magnolia Retreat.
Connor House with Good Oak Timber out of Natchez, Mississippi.
Jared Van Camp, Element Collective, Chicago.
Pierre Sauvager, Los Angeles Tennis Club, chef.
Rick Tremonto, Wendy's Old Fashioned Hamburgers, Rochester, New York.
Bjorn Rasmussen, Element Collective, Chicago, Illinois.
Chef Rick Tremonto, work at Restaurant Revolution in New Orleans.
Albert Guillory from Natchez, Mississippi.
I'm David Bramlett. I'm from Woodville. It's paramount to start right at the crack of daylight. We got 1 hour before it gets too hot. Once the dew wears off the grass, you got to catch the dogs back up.
You keep beef for a catch, and beef for a catch all or
Connor, you let them out in a certain order?
I just let all the young dogs, hunting dogs out. All right, come on, Gene. Come on, Gene. Come on, Tyrone. Come on, Tyrone. Come on, Tyrone.
And these are just, we'll each say them to catch with. Along with the ones up here.
I said we just wait, let them get stopped and bayed, and we'll go from there. We'll catch them or whatever we got to do.
This way?
Yeah, where we said a while ago, just a second ago.
Can he make it to that other? He can go.
Well, we have fresh sign on there before we ever get started. Turn loose on fresh sign. It makes it a lot easier. And then they'll get downwind of them and just, you know, win until they get them up close or jump up on them. And best thing to do is run them up in the bed when they're sleeping. And you have a lot better success. You catch them running and on the move, it's harder to stop them and catch them.
Is that a good sign right there?
Yeah, it's been fresh hogs here. They ought to get one lined out, hopefully. Paradise, Louisiana. Raise your own dogs, and you know, once you catch a hog, you just a reward seeing your dog actually being on the hog. And so all your practice pays off.
We have chefs in the house tonight from Chicago. We have from Los Angeles. We got one coming in from Houston tomorrow. We have, of course, Louisiana coming in. And 7 years ago, we started Dining by Design, which was the dinner to support the Sister Dulce Foundation in Baton Rouge. And I thought it would be a good idea to bring in a group of chefs representing the United States to all take a table of 20 and then assign a florist or a designer to work with the chefs to create a very special dinner with all proceeds going to fund the Cypress Springs Mercedarian Prayer Center. So with that, this is the 7th year we do it. This is the 4th year that Eddie has been opening his operation, and now we're at, this is a lodge up in outside of Woodville, Mississippi. This is the 2nd year we've come here. And of course, it's a little bit pig hunting, wild pig hunting, little deer out here, a beautiful lake for fishing and swimming. And then, of course, the chefs all get a chance to sit around the table and cook and do their own thing. Jared from Chicago here is doing a little shrimp and grits. How's that coming, huh?
Getting there, man, getting there.
And so Jared's doing his thing. Somebody else is doing theirs. David, our pastry chef, brought in desserts. We're frying seafood from the Gulf. It's a great weekend. All of the chefs have a great time, but more importantly, they're all here to service a great need. And that is for the big event on Sunday night, which is Dining by Design, where we're going to try to raise a lot of money to help a lot of people in Louisiana. We thank Eddie Responde for helping us out and giving us this magnificent place. And of course his wife, Linda, because I mean, you know, she's in charge, you know. She's in charge.
Jay Kimball, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been working with Chef Folse over here since 1996.
David Harris, I'm from Westbrook, Vermont, and I've been working with Chef John Folse since 1996.
So we're getting ready to fry a little fish, fry a little oysters, and of course, you know what I like to use, huh? You know what I like to use?
Yes, I know.
There it is right here, nothing better. It's not hard. It's not hard to promote Louisiana. Louisiana promotes itself so well. I've just had an opportunity to bring Louisiana cooking around the world. I've just been so lucky that Louisiana allowed me to do it. And I tell you what, it's been a great, great blessing. Met a lot of good people. That's how we met all the chefs that are here today, just working with them as we travel the country. So it's been a gift to me more than I've been a gift to them, I promise you.
5 years ago, I decided that I needed to find a piece of property that I could have for my grandchildren and my children to enjoy the outdoors. And having a lease, you can't really improve it. So I started looking for a piece of property, and fortunately, about less than 3 years ago, we found a piece of property that we could purchase. And I felt like something that I could enjoy with my children and grandchildren. They could enjoy each other and learn to be together. And it's turned out incredible because my children have responded wonderfully. They enjoy it. And then they invite friends, and I've got to enjoy my children's friends and their children, and then I've been able to invite my family as well and my friends, and they've enjoyed it as well. So it's worked out very well, and it's kind of growing because the more they enjoy it, the more you want to develop it. And so now we have quite a bit of acreage and multiple cabins and a lodge. It really is a gift God has given us, and so anytime you have a gift, you should share it.
Well, girls, y'all good, I'm telling you. Oh, you got another one. Hold up, look at the fish. Well, you tearing them up on that beetle spin.
Fishing. It's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Introducing Powerade Ion 4, complete with 4 electrolytes lost in sweat. Powerade Ion 4, the complete sports drink.
Ask me about my Tempur-Pedic.
Ask me how fast I fall asleep.
Why not talk to someone who's sleeping on the most highly recommended bed in America?
Ask me about staying asleep.
Tempur-Pedic owners are more satisfied than owners of any traditional mattress brand.
Ask me how it feels after 10 years.
Tempur-Pedic, the most highly recommended bed in America.
Ask about Tempur-Pedic at O'Lynn's, where you know you always get the guaranteed low price. O'Lynn's is the only store in Baton Rouge and Lafayette with the full line of Tempur-Pedics.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. And on Labor Day, I spent my day out in the Gulf of Mexico below Venice. It was the last day of the snapper season statewide, so that is now over, and you probably won't see snapper opened up in Louisiana waters till maybe sometime next March. But this trip, you know, you've heard us talk about the Rummel Beast Feast. It's an alumni event. Well, a young captain by the name of Captain Jonathan Ruffin, Ruff's Charters out of Venice, donated a trip. And it was purchased by some of my old classmates and the alumni. It was a group of us, Ed Perrone, Steve Tenenfeld, Ronnie Griesaber, former athletes that played ball with me over at Rummel High School.
Was
yeah, 100 years ago. And yeah, when we had all that going on, you know, when Rummel was still getting ready to become a big powerhouse that they are now today. We made a trip offshore. They bought the trip, and we went out there. And Captain Jonathan's a young guy, but he's very innovative. He works real hard. He brought along a Scott Rao, who, by the way, Scott's daddy was in that same class with us, and he was operating as a deckhand. And the target was tuna, and we found him. A pretty unique method of catching them, kind of I guess you'd say a later technique. It's not your grandfather's tuna trip by any means, the technique that they use, and he's going to demonstrate and talk about that. But we found the tuna. And one of the guys on the boat compared this to like fishing speckled trout under the birds. We had to measure almost every fish. Now on a tuna, it's, you know, the 27 inches to the curved fork length. You've actually got to bend the ruler to take advantage of the girth of the fish. That's all comes into it. We released more than we kept, but the action was very good. It was steady. Then we moved in closer to fish the amberjack, which is now open. And so these guys had never caught amberjack before, and they all commented, no wonder the limit's only one. That's all you need. That's all you can handle. Because these were some real reef donkeys, and there was some real skill shown by the boat captain and the deckhand to get those. You got to get that fish away from the rig. You are not going to land an amberjack.
That fight's on the captain.
You better believe it. And ended up with also a couple of mai. You're going to see a nice one that I caught, a little baby bull that did some nice acrobatics for us. But the main thing is, if you're a tuna fisherman, listen carefully to what Jonathan has to say about his technique, and you might want to give it a try. It's pretty exciting, and it's very, very productive. Fishing with Captain Jonathan Ruffin of Ruff's Charters out of Venice.
How you doing on that side?
Nailing it.
Oh, killing.
Yeah, they're killing them.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're just throwing about 10 freebies, 10 live hardtails, free ones with our hook bait. Biggest thing that's happened in the last couple of years is that the fish tend to not want to come up as easily as they used to. Now we find ourselves really having to give them 10, 12 baits, free baits, to make them come up and eat the ones with the hooks in them. You know, 5 years ago, you didn't really have to do that. But so now we just got to bring a lot more bait and work a little harder for them, but they still eat.
And once you make the set with the live bait, then what's the technique? How many rods you put out and how are they rigged?
We just had 2 with fluorocarbon, 2 rods with fluorocarbon and circle hooks.
All right, flip you down. Got to be 27 inches curve length. I'm going to see if you make it. Back up. There you go.
A little marginal, not big as the last one.
Well, I'm going to give you another view of him. Here he's coming. Tell me what you think.
I'd grab it. I think he is going to make it.
Hey, there he goes. Keep your rod that way.
Now, so they get in the boat. When you get in the boat, y'all be careful.
My, yum.
About 2 or 3 steps in front of the boat when you get a chance.
It takes true grit to wake up every morning dedicated to a higher standard of work. At H&E Equipment Services, we're leveraging our national fleet of equipment with a local approach, working closely with customers to understand their needs and provide them reliability, fair prices, and the support of a first-class service team. We're an equipment company, run by equipment people. Where others stop, we continue. H&E Equipment Services, the higher standard in equipment rentals, sales, parts, and service.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner.
First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit loan officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
Welcome to the news segment of Paradise, Louisiana. And Gary, some big news going on down the bayou on a fundraising event.
Fundraising event. Lance Coonsquest lost his wife earlier in the year. And a lot of those captains and a lot of his friends and people, they're selling $20 tickets, and they're gonna have an array of captains putting up their money, not only offshore, maybe in a tarpon trip, but all the Swesses and all the people around there. You can see a list of the names later on. But if you want to buy a ticket, you know, y'all can call down there, Lance Coonsquest, and you can buy a ticket. And they got a lot of people. I'm gonna give you a number myself. Later on, we'll run on the screen and find some other numbers. We can do it. I just got an email on it. And even got some captains from other states in Texas and other places, tarpon fishermen that are donating trips. So it's unbelievable. It's only a $20 ticket too.
And in case you've been wondering what this little product is right here, this is making some news. It's called an AccuBow. The AccuBow is a very new product that has not yet hit the market. This is the invention of a young engineer by the name of Matt Pell. And the purpose of this product is to be able to allow an archer to exercise those muscles that you need, and also the control to hold on a target while you're waiting to get the right shot on that deer. It has an adjustable pulley that can regulate the poundage anywhere from 10 to 70 pounds. So as you increase the strength, you can up the poundage on it so you can get trained on it. But at the same time, if it's a youngster who can't pull a full drawback, that'll help him. It also is set up for those of us that use trigger releases instead of fingers. You've got this built onto it. This is a prototype. The finished product you can see on my website. If you go to dontheoutdoorsguy.com, look on the AccuBow link and it'll take you there to the Kickstarter program, where if you want to pre-order one at a price you'll never again find, you can do that. He's also got a limited number of LSU editions, the purple and gold model, so you might want to take a look at that. One of the other features of this is a laser light that is right here. What this does, when you put this laser light on your target, it shows you how long or how hard it is to actually stay on that target and stay focused on it while you're at full draw. Helps you develop your skills without having to go to the range, without having to fire your bow, because you certainly don't want to dry fire bows. This one, perfect model, AccuBow. It's soon to come out in a lot of stores, and you can get it on the ground floor by going to AccuBow.
You can count on Jerry Lane.
At Jerry Lane, they rolled the red carpet out for me.
It's always been Jerry.
You know what? It's tradition, it's family, and that's what keeps us coming back to Jerry Lane.
Get in the lane, get in the lane. Get in the lane, get in the lane. Get in the lane, get in the lane.
We're a Jerry Lane family.
Always lead to. You can count on Jerry Lane.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cassius Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
GM Cable, locally owned and operated since 1984, has grown from a one-man shop to a family company with more than 90 employees. For more than 2 decades, GM Cable has established itself as one of the most trusted contractors in Louisiana. GM Cable specializes in fiber optic installation, video surveillance, directional boring, aerial and outdoor construction, and much more. Log on to gmcable.com to learn more about this rock-solid local company. GM Cable, improving the standards of communication.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report, and you've heard some of my reports where I went in Cocodrie, went offshore out of Venice. Gary, you got a lot of freshwater information starting to come around.
Oh, yeah, before I get to my saltwater, I got to go to freshwater. Right off we go back, everybody's hearing about the spillway. You're hearing a lot of people going to the spillway, but one day they catch them, one day they don't. But you got to look for that off-colored water. And that black water, you stay away from it. There's no oxygen in it, and it's got a lot of trash fish. But right now that water has dropped so low, they're in the main bars, they fishing worms on the points. I know all of y'all hear people talk about the tower in Pigeon, but the tower's no longer there, but where it used to be. All those canals and everything going down Little Pigeon, moving back in toward Catfish, they finding these points, or you still where there was a run out. If that water's moving at all and it's good color, they catching them on rattle trap on them points, and they catching them on worms, on plastic. Regular old Texas ringworm, like you used to do it, watermelon red, just different. The colors you always use, you go over there and fish them right now, and the guys are catching, been able to work out a limit, and every now and then catching some good fish. And had no trouble with size of them either. Also, in the lower part of the spillway, where I heard people were catching fish, I ain't heard nothing this past week. So I don't know whether the rain affect them or the water's getting low in the heat. So I don't know. Other places we're getting is the marsh, by black. Same people I've been telling us once before they were catching them, but it comes with a warning. Stay out of the ponds if they got a sign on them, and even if you historically know they don't want you in there, or they indicate, even if you don't see a sign, they're writing tickets. But you can catch enough fish in the main bars, by black, off the main canals. You can go in there and fish all the little patches of grass. Sac-a-lait has been one of the best fish to bite, but they're catching, look at these pictures, they're catching a combination of small bass and sac-a-lait. They're using a little beetle spins, black and chartreuse, and on the crappie, they're using that crappie psychic. They don't know why. They catch them without it, but when they put that crappie psychic, that chartreuse color on it, they've been catching bigger and better and more sac-a-lait. Don,
Venice. Oh, they got a good report starting to come out of Venice.
Well, what I was saying, I was trying to find in between the water. It's salt water and fresh water, but this is fresh water in the saltwater area. They're also catching trout down there and redfish. But our good friend Gary Krause and your good friend, Mr. Jeff Brewer, were there last week, Wednesday or Thursday. They sent me these pictures. They weren't no little fish. These are monster fish. I don't know how much they weigh. They were full of eggs. You can see them. Sometimes they're buzzing. So they caught bass all day. And they were catching them. They were fishing the pond. They were fishing where the run out, it was coming out and headed toward the main river. Wherever they were off of Octave Pass. So, and that could be Delta duck. That could be anything. You know, going back, they're flipping canes. They're using plastic to catch them all kind of bait. And it's another place when you get close to the river, put on a rattle trap, a gold rattle trap, or blue and silver rattle trap, and you can catch everything from a striped bass to a regular bass to a catfish. You can catch whatever you want, bass, right there in the river off the rocks.
Saltwater.
Saltwater. My saltwater, Del Lago's, Pontchartrain. And I was surprised when I got a call from Ronnie O. They're catching trout in the evening in the trestle. Some of his regulars have been bringing in limits of trout. There ain't been no monster trout, but they're catching limits of trout. And that's hard to believe because you usually hear, well, we're catching some nice trout, so he didn't do it. Also, he mentioned Irish Bayou. My thoughts of this, last year they caught a lot of bass out of it. I want him to call me to go catch bass, but he told me, he said, Mr. Gary, you come on down right now. If you want to fish the evening, I'll get somebody to take you. So I guess pretty soon I'm going to be going now. Ronnie Barris, he's been fishing to a Delico, to Mr. Go. He's catching redfish. He's catching specks. The bait of choice has been a matrix shad. It's called the matrix shad tiger. Whatever bait that is. I ain't never heard that color. I know he fishes that green horn in them a lot, but he's also been using some live shrimp. McCullen and Kaylin, here comes Little Mac and his daughter's boyfriend. They were fishing freshwater canal. They're catching on an H&H spinner, or half-run spinner with a swim bait, black and chartreuse H&H. Bobby Black, one more, Grand Isle. Bobby Black was down there 3 days. He says, you're going out, coming out of fast, and he's heading toward Fouchon, and he went to Elmer's Island. The water's getting so clear, it's unbelievable. The only trouble he has is bull reds won't leave him alone. Sometimes he goes with croaker. He brings croaker. He catches some good trout. It's shrimp. Also, you can catch them on shrimp, but it's going to bring the trash fish, ladyfish. That means all them bait fish are there, and that's why them ladyfish are there. So Spanish mackerel been cutting lines and stuff. So, but he has really been hammering the trout. So
Before we wrap up here, Gary, you got an announcement to make about airings of the program coming up next month or this month?
CST, by the way, they adjust their schedule all the time with football, and sometimes we got a live ball game, we got agreement, they'll run us, they'll run it on the screen, it'll be later. So this year they asked me, they said, you want to move 7 o'clock because we're going to be covering some high school ball games at 8. I said, 7 o'clock? That's almost prime time when it gets dark. Some other people that don't want to stay up late, 10 o'clock, well, you can have them both. If you want to go to bed early, you want to watch us early, you can see us at 7 p.m. all during the month of September. Maybe we got to look at the schedule. We might do a little bit more in October, but we'll be on CST Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And if you want to be a late hour, you can't sleep, you can pick it up again at 10:30, right after the sportsman show. So we're going to be all Thursday night. You can have a break, you can get to watch high school football from Florida. I think we are a better show.
Absolutely.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this week. You're invited again next week. Don't forget to send your pictures, your stories, your comments. Gary at Paradise, Louisiana, and we'll see you right back here again next week for another edition of Paradise, Louisiana.